Otherwise, let's start with this next keynote. I hope you had a nice break. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the next speaker, Jacques Savoy from the University of Neuchâtel. I'm especially happy to introduce him since he was a teacher when I was a bachelor student for my introduction to AI. And I think he did a very good job and still working in the field. Jacques worked in NLP for a long time on topics such as computational linguistics, corpus statistics, and cross-lingual information systems. About that, there was various subjects, such as the seeming approach for different languages, and as well as political speech analysis. Today, we will talk about text categorization in design, with examples such as how can say help with authors profiling and the impact of predictors they can have on research. But I will not talk more. Back for you.
Thank you for the invitation. So from time to time you have the local guide. I am the local guide. Okay. First, this speech is about text categorization and all topics related to style, or where the style is important. But the first question is where we can find the first machine able to generate a text. Boston, MIT, in another place, Paris, in Neuchâtel. If you go close to the harbor, the Fine Art Museum, you will see the writer, an automaton designed by Jacques, and they can generate a text. 3 to 5 different words. It's limited, but it was the first one. Okay, so the slides will be available on the website. And if you need more information, we have here 2 books about style and text categorization related to humanities. But let's start. So, we start on around 10 or 12 years. And word that usually you discover. Very frequent words, the, and, of, pronoun, I'm, us, etc. I love all these words. And the undertitle of the presentation will be Nothing is Simple. We have many difficulties with this. And I will try to provide example, and they asked me to provide example in our national languages. Okay. Look at the first problem. Language identification. If you have a text multilingual, is it easy to discover that we change from language from one to another one? And from time to time, if you apply an OCR, you will see that if the tool is very good, very high performance with the English one, for the language it could be a nightmare. So we have this value for African languages. Don't have resources. So the first problem is to identify the language. Easy. Do it. Can you identify those languages? The first one.
Turkish.
No, not gonna. No. Not Polish. Check. Okay. The second one. We have a word coming from this language. It's so nice. And it's Finnish. Yes. The third one. Polish. Yes, Polish. No. Yes, the fourth.
Icelandic.
No. Yes, Hungarian. The fifth. Easy for you. wait, no wait. The fix, Bulgarian, and the last one is the Latin. Yeah, so it seems easy, but if that is short, yeah. Pattern detection, no problem. Part of speech tagging. Oh, it's a well-known task. Everybody can understand this, and for all well-known languages, no problems. Okay. Taking the Macron speech, provided in fact during the last day of the last year, and it is in French. I ask the system, I'm taking the sample parser. Give me the part of speech of all these words. And Macron starts, française, français, cher compact. And française, well, it's an adjective. Well, it's a new version. And if you look at the foreign, l'étranger, it's a verb. And in French, it's a noun. And l'année, the year, it's a verb too. Past participle. Yes, because I'm looking for the last two letters. And usually, yes. Larme. It's a verb. So, two sentences, we have already 4 incorrect assignments. By the way, it seems strange that the for l'étranger disappear, and for l'année too. The is not present in French. Hello? Okay, second problem here, name entity recognition. Can you identify the name of a person, company, location in the text? And be sure to have maybe some few spelling variation that can in fact identify the right person. So yes, the White House, there is no spelling variation. Oops. Mohammed Gaddafi. First spelling, second spelling, third spelling, fourth spelling. Not enough. Yeah, more. Not so simple. It seems that sentiment analysis, news classification, for the topics, and the last one, naturally, try to show me that you understand the language. And from this, we can have different classification. For example, I'm looking for the grammar. I give you a sentence, and can you give me if it's correct according to grammar? Can you have synonym replacement? Can you infer? That's a bit more complex. I give you one or two sentences. Can you infer something about? And the last one, argument identification. If in a speech I give you an argument or not. Yes, many different applications. And for that, we have data. Of course, there is no error in the data. Huh? All data, maybe. Just an example. I'm using the Google Book Ngram Viewer. I'm asking for French. So give me in French, books, memo, etc. written in French, from 18 to 19, and look for the word internet. And we have occurrence of internet in French document in 1800, 1805, 1810. Some person specified that internet was invented in Service Geneva. Bye, Napoleon. Yeah. Because frequency is not new. Okay. If you look at the document behind this, what we have is something like inter in French. And for the computer intern, maybe there is a T after that. So we transform the chirurgy intern into chirurgy internet. Mm-hmm. So we have data, but we have error in this data. Okay, if I'm working a lot with text classification related to the type, I'm working a lot with evaluation campaign, not competition. For example, you can work with cleft data. So you can register, obtain the data, and after that, you are working with different teams across the world, and you provide, after 6 or 7 months, a conference when you have the result. And we have a lot of tasks related to text classification. So cleft is more European point of view. And there is another one, there is TREC and NPCR that provide some other form or challenging task related to text classification. I'm working a lot on PAN, this one. So over the 10 or 12 years, we have different tasks related to style in text. But what is the style? What is the difference between word contents, topical words, and the style? Here are some examples. And the difference is just those very frequent words. The, doesn't, negation, and, etc., etc. Modal verb, etc. Not fully correct. From time to time, there is some variation about, in fact, the topical words. So we have, in this case, 5 different sentences representing more than the same meaning. So yes, the style is the frequent word, but from time to time, I need to go a little bit further and take some less frequently used words. What are the problems related to style with text classification? Authorship attribution. I give you a text. Can you give me the author? I give a text and a list of possible authors. Author profiling. I give you a text. Can you give me some information about the author? Some age range, teenager, an older person, education, personality trait, introvert, extrovert, gender, yeah. Of course, plagiarism detection. Can you detect if it is a fake, a lie, or a real one? Written by a bot, written by a human being. Text genre classification. Is it a memo, a newspaper's article, etc., etc.? Or is it when it was written? The 18th, 19th, 20th century. So what you see as a text is the big bag. You have everything inside. And with style, we try to extract some information. The text genre, the period, or the author. With all these, in fact, subcodes. Gender, age range, etc., etc. Important for me is text length and the text quality. I have always errors in my data because from time to time you need to work with tweets, Facebook, all that. Text length. I love you. Give me the author. Excuse me, but I need at least 5,000 words. So for other words, with 5,000 I'm more or less sure. Less, I can have an educated guess. Okay. Gender. Can I identify a text written by a man or a woman? Make no sense. It's not possible. I give you a text, you can identify, this is written by a man. This is written by a man. This is written. However, if you consider some topics, maybe Or I can give you a set of tweets about Celtics and Rangers, football, written by a woman. But usually the topics, but if we ignore the topics, I don't think we can do that. Okay, let's try it. Extract from the blog. We have a text. Can you identify if the text is written by a man or a woman? Oh, let's say a woman and see why. Person working, asking for something for. Why? After studying the style, you have all the information you need. This is a good example. So it's impossible. Okay, if for this is impossible, for this one, when you specify written by a man or woman, the second question is why? Alors, an ID written by a woman. Yes, correct. Teenager. Why? Of feeling, cry. Yes. If you look at the emotion, women try to introduce a little bit more emotion, a little bit more. From a statistical point of view, not sure that the difference is. But there is other evidence here. Which one? The pronouns. Women using more pronouns than men. And yes, I put emphasis also the emotion. The negation pronoun. More emotion, more negation. And if I'm coming back to the first example, count the number of pronouns, you will see just a few. Men are unable to do references or co-references, so they prefer using do. My table, I take my suitcase to go to the tree. And in this case, just a few pronouns and a lot of nouns. So you can identify, even if it's a short text, you can identify it. Oops. And chat, GPT, like a man or like a woman. We have done a lot. No, we have done some experiments. Oh, it's in French. But you can count the number of pronouns. Je, nous, il. And after that, ton bon. Chat is not using pronoun. So, the style is more related to man. But in fact, man will use more pronoun. So we can discriminate text written by ChatGPT over the rest. Because even for man, we have some pronoun. And we don't have here pronoun. But we discovered a lot of things. ChatGPT uses 4 words as a prompt and identified the next one. And for the next one, we have a sequence, a set, ranking set of possible words. And we select one of these. So after specifying Diego Maradona, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a fish. No memory. So I can repeat Diego Maradona. The version 3.5 was not so clean with the French language. There is some spelling problem. So ChatGPT is working, or like an old man, if you prefer, using a lot of noon adjective, a lot of comma. Okay. We solved the first problem. Language related to man and woman. Authorship attribution. Who is the author of the following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 texts? We call this the closed set, because I give you a list of authors, and I'm 100% sure that in this list we have all the authors. So I give you President Kennedy, Obama, Lincoln, and Trump. So give me the author of the first one. Lincoln. A good evidence. In the 18, we have very long sentences. Yeah, just one. And usually we have some words in uppercase, starting with an uppercase. The second one. The third one. Kennedy. Oh, the last one is in German, so there's. Yes. Okay, good. Another problem we have, and we solved this, was there is novels written by Elena Ferrante. And we have 7 novels with the well-known tetralogy starting with The Amica Geniale by Brian Friends. But if you ask in Italy, who is Elena Ferrante? There's no person. And if you want an interview, no possible to have an interview with. Nobody knows. So we have a list of novels without an author. Is the author a man, a woman, the age range, etc. So in Padova they produce a corpus with 140 novels, 7 written by Elena Ferrante. And we try to cover all possible authors. So we have 30 different authors. The task was, can you identify the real author? The real author. And we discovered that the real author, in fact, was this person. Yes, ma'am. But Domenico Salmone written all this. To talk with Swiss person, girls living in Switzerland, etc. No. The dialogue in the Elena Ferrante novels are. No, that's not possible. It's a woman that can only understand a woman like this. If you go in Italy and specify, the girls specify, oh, there is a lot of violence in this, so that's not a girl. That's a man. Okay. So you will solve some of these problems, age range, gender, the real author. You need to represent it. My first problem is to please collect document from the same text genre. You have an example. The same author, Donald Trump, in election and as president. The same person, but if you look at the most frequent one, it's not a perfect match. Don't worry. During the election, especially in France and US and in UK, Canada, you need to select one person. And when you select one person, the most important word is I have the solution. Vote for me. I am the guy. I appear as the second most frequent use as during the election. As president. We will solve this problem. Who is behind the wheel? We will solve the problem, no problem. Behind the wheel, we have ambiguity, we don't know. And for that reason, politicians like the we. And of course, America appeared. Okay. So you have a text in the same categorization, same genre. The word. Give me the words. You will see that there is many different answers for all this. Usually I'm taking like letters and digits. But yes, if you take all the words, we have a huge number of possible pictures. So what we can specify as word, letters, not single letters. I prefer Shakespeare because there are more O and N than Marlowe. So sequence of 2 or 3 letters, so we can use something like that. And you can represent the text in the sequence of what? Single, bigram of letters, trigram of letters, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's one form of representation. Another form is to look at the text and to extract the entry in the dictionary, the lemma. So for the variability problem, we have this. So we extract the lemma Italian, il, di, e, essere, avere. To be or to have. All forms related to be or to have. So we have all this. And we count the number of percentage. So we have 3 possible person and variability in the third row. And now you can see that Domenico Sarnone is not so far from the frequency used by Elena. Yes, there is some variation, but certainly for the first one, smaller than, for example, De Luca, or for Essere, is Caro Figlio. So just using the most frequent one, it's not so bad. Okay, but of course you can take order. Very frequent words, lemma, symbol in the text, yes. Emoji used, URL, hashtag, etc. Sequence of unigram, bigram, words, letters, whatever you want. And from time to time you can group topical terms into one category. For example, the symbolism category for telling the US president is the law, the White House, government, etc. Liberty, etc. Part of speech, sequence of part of speech. Be sure you obtain, tagging, mid sentence, etc. So there is many different strategies to discover what we have as the author or the profile of the author. Some interesting representation. And try to have a system on one domain. I'm going to use the same system in another domain, or learn in one language, in fact, and apply it in another one. Look at this. So the first here specify dist here. How many very frequent codes are you using? So we have 2 rows. The first is with 0 and the second is 200. So I'm just repeat only the first 200 most frequent codes. So we have dinner, and dinner is 6 letters with 6 stars. So we have with 4 letters for star, comma, and for digit, special symbol, beer, blah, 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 blah. So this is my representation. Available limitation of that we can transpose into French, Italian. Or look at the second consonant, vowel, etc., etc. Or just for the punctuation, word, comma, blah, blah, blah. And it's worked relatively well. So you can learn one domain language and transpose to another one. Another possible way, use the frequency. So in this case, we form frequency the set of words with very frequent. Frequent, but not so frequent. Common, infrequent, very infrequent words. So for example, if we have very frequent words, we put this 5. Rare word, we will put a 0. So dinner for 0 with, happy with class 4, a beer with class 2, etc. etc. So, and you can add something related to in another language or the length 6, 4, 5, etc. There is many different forms of representation if you try to learn in one language and work in another one. Video selection. Using the most frequent word. Look at this. A deep flow. In French, if you take the first 16 most frequent word, you cover 30% of text written in French. Behind this, we have the SDA news agency and the newspaper Le Monde. So I can translate this in Italian, Spanish, German, all this word, and you can cover, understand 30% of all text written. It's easy French, yes. It's the same in German. Okay, so usually I'm just looking for the most frequent one or document frequency. Yes, from time to time you have a very frequent words in just a few documents. And if you apply TF-IDF, you obtain a very high value, but the DF is very small, 2 or 3. So maybe just TF is, or you can use order strategy. That's always possible. Because as soon as you are working with text, for example, with the evaluation campaign in CLE, gender identification, we have this number of words for men and women. I have a set of tweets and it's probably written by a man or woman. If you just ask document frequency larger than 3, the reduction is this. So we have from 11,000 just 1,000. So you can reduce the vocabulary just by a very simple strategy. After that, of course, from this nothing, and you use big gram of word, 3 gram of word, very complex to understand what we are doing. But if you start with this, 3 gram of word, 3 gram, it's possible. Okay. So we represent text, we look for similarity. Compare the full text with some text representing man or woman, and we have different strategies. And in the room there is many persons doing some deep learning, some machine learning. Yes, you can use whatever you want. Time to time you have a transparent box and a black box. You can have a deep black box. And then after that, the linguist asks you, why the machine specifies by a man? The linguist, I want to understand. You have a trouble in this case. Okay, so usually we prefer transparent box instead of black one. Evaluation. Very simple evaluation. Okay. And if you look at Clef, for example, they are focusing just on the error rate or the accuracy rate. Is your system very accurate? Provide the rank list from the most accurate to the less accurate system. Oh yes, we can compare with one baseline. So we provide a very simple baseline and we are 5% better than the baseline. Several, no, I'm not strong. If you want to be fair, you have several baselines and usually we select strong one. Look at this. Last year, left, I already detection. are the system able to detect irony? You have a set of 100 tweets. In this set, do you see more than 5% irony? And there is a list of all participants, 64, and we have baseline. We have LSTM, verbs, etc., char bigram, word unigram. Ah, yes. Oh. See, really, they perform well. Oh, yes. The first one, 99.4. And if you have to ask the person why your system is working, how do you detect irony? Can you repeat the question? How do you detect irony with your system? Oh, I put a set of tweets and the system specify yes or no. I want to understand how. No, I put it. Yes. No theory. You cannot specify why it's an ironic or not an ironic set of tweets. Okay. So there is a risk to be, we call that toxic certain. What the main goal is to be better than the other system. We don't want a statistical test or something like that. Just better. 24 is higher than 23.9. Full stop. If you do something like that, we have a lot of numbers, no explanation. So, yes, we can evaluate, we can evaluate many things, but so you need, in fact, to show me that you have a statistical test specify that your system is better than the other one, or better than the baseline, hopefully a strong baseline, etc., etc. Can you discuss the pro and the con of your system? Why your system is working well? When is failing? Last week I was in France for a conference, and only 50% of the paper present something related to a statistical test. Otherwise, they specify 24 is better than 25.9. Full stop. Okay. In real world, I have the problem to be 100% sure that the decision is the correct one. And for the auto attribution, I don't have a lot of decision. Only one. Who is behind the Elena Ferrante? Full stop. Working with the police, you have this auto attribution. Who is the person that writes this email? Or, according to my system, it's false. Explain why it's false. Oh, I'm using a 2-bert and after that an LSTM, and the performance this is very good. We need to go in the court. In the court, we have a lawyer specify. We have one lawyer defend you, but the other one will provide. Can you give me the accuracy rate and how many let? If you're working with translation, because there is some work on translation, I have a second job for you. A humanitarian disaster in a foreign country, and nobody can or fluent in this language. Can you provide a tool from German, French, English to this foreign language and be sure that you produce a correct translation, a fluent one, an adequate one, without any ambiguity? And of course, if you go in court, there is a sort of impact question, and you need to be able to provide a good answer for all this. And please, it's a plain English. Don't use some words. Verb, overcard. No. The final phrase, slide. For Elena Ferrante, why? We have this. Elena and Savoy spoke a lot about padre, madre, person. This person understanding Italian in the room? I am proud about the last word. That's Napolitan written form. Correct form in Rome is transo. Bon. Okay. And you see, in the collection we have 85. And if you look, 18 per 60, we have a lot written by Ferrante and Starnone, and only 4 are missing. So that's a strong evidence that there is a strong correlation in the writing style between Ferrante and Savoy. Okay, so we have in fact a list of very interesting problems related to the style, and there is many different room to improve what we have today. And please be sure that you have the evaluation is very important in our case. We want to be sure that the decision is the correct one and not the other one. Thank you for your attention.
Jacques, are there any questions in the room? Don't be shy. We want to know whether Elena Ferrante is really.
Yes. Maybe one question. Have you considered other modalities like handwriting or speech?
There is an interest, for example, for medieval document, where in fact the author, the monk in this case, could be identified according to the writing style. I'm not working on that, but a well-known person in Bern in Mr. But yes, for the same person, we know when it's in winter and in summer. The writing style is changing a little bit.
Could you suggest to study the evolution of the time or the frequencies of
Time evolution. Give me when the first sentence was written, one sentence, and the second one. The second one is more than one sentence, 3 or 4. Yes. You need to have a writing adapted to the period. So this is the first one is 18th century, and the last one is from Donald Trump. Donald Trump is with very, very, very short sentences. 2 words. The opposite is Macron. Very, 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 very long. So the French people cannot understand the president. Yes. What we can see, differences in syntax over the time. Yes, from time to time. The United States is that 18 is specified R, local form. So the United States are and country, we consider the United States in singular form. Yes. Writing style, content is changing over the time.
You have focused on the lexical syntax and syntactic structure for this time. Do you think that semantic structure using synonyms with the right concept of word is something that is always also
You can improve a little bit your system if you look at part of the speech and the sequence how many times you have in English adjective, noun. Another strategy is looking for the topics. And for man, woman, you can improve in general. But man, woman, the best system will obtain an accuracy of 84, 86. If you take account the topics, in fact, you can add 2%. 86, 88. So the topics, shopping, football, beer, it is not always the best one. You can improve, yes, but marginal in fact, not a really.
One last question from everyone.
Can you distinguish people changing styles and having different authors? So, for instance, in your example of Donald Trump, when he was a candidate, he wrote his own speech. If he was president, then he has a whole team of speechwriters writing his speech. So the changes might not be just because his style changes, but also because the authorship changes. Can you distinguish those kinds?
Two possible answers. If you take one person, the style will change up to 2025. As a young person, you will use, for example, more the past tense. And if you are 65 or more, you are more using the future tense. Between 25 and 60, there is some evolution. And for women, for example, they are using more and more nouns than previously. But it's relatively stable from 25 up to 60, 65. Second possible answer is for Trump. What we can see is Trump in the interview, in the radio, talking, that's the oral form, and Trump as the president reading a speech. There is a huge difference. And we certainly, in fact, we see that in this case, that behind the written Trump, there is a list of or set of ghostwriters. And there is clearly some change in the style. It's less the case, for example, for Hillary Clinton or Obama. Certainly, these two persons is looking for the speech, and they are working a lot with their ghostwriter.
Thank you again. Remind me how